If you want to know what you truly value in life, don't look at your vision board.
Right, or your list of 5-year goals.
Exactly. I mean, instead, look at who makes you absolutely sick to your stomach with jealousy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a tough mirror to look into.
It really is. But, we've all been there. You're, say, scrolling on your phone, or maybe you're at a party and you see your partner laughing just a little too hard at someone else's joke.
Oh, yeah. Or you're sitting in a meeting and a colleague gets the promotion and the praise that you quietly felt you deserved.
Right. And right then, you feel it. It's that sudden, uncomfortable, hot sting right in the center of your chest.
Yeah, your stomach drops, your jaw clenches.
Your mind starts racing.
Yeah.
It is just a profoundly ugly feeling. But today, we are dragging that feeling out of the shadows.
Which is so important because, honestly, it's arguably one of the most universally uncomfortable human experiences.
Right.
And we almost never talk about it, honestly, because of the deep shame attached to it. It just, it makes us feel petty, small, and totally out of control.
Totally. So today we're doing a deep dive into jealousy. Our mission for you here is simple but ambitious. We want to uncover what jealousy actually is on a biological and psychological level.
And we'll look at exactly when it crosses the line from, like, a natural survival mechanism into a truly dangerous pathology.
Right, and most importantly, we want to give you the practical tools to rewire your brain and body to handle it constructively.
And we have an incredibly rich stack of sources to guide us through this today.
We really do. We're pulling from psychiatric literature on a pretty severe condition known as Othello syndrome. Plus, we've got a fascinating Q&A with the world-renowned cognitive behavioral therapy expert, Robert Leahy.
Yeah, his insights are incredible.
They really are. We're also drawing on an article about the psychology of jealousy by Nick Wignall, and a really comprehensive glossary of body-mind integration that's going to connect our physical bodies to our deepest psychological defenses.
To start, I think we really need to define our terms here.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Because we tend to use words interchangeably in everyday conversation that actually represent entirely different psychological mechanisms.
Right. Before we can fix jealousy, we have to define exactly what it is. And that means separating it from its closely related cousin, which is envy.
Yes, because they are not the same thing at all.
Not at all. I like to think of it this way. Envy is wanting your neighbor's shiny new car, but jealousy is suspecting your neighbor is trying to steal your beloved dog.
That is a perfect analogy. And Robert Leahy's clinical work actually maps out the exact psychological architecture behind that distinction.
Yeah, how does he break it down?
So jealousy fundamentally requires a triad.
A triad. 3 parts.
Exactly. It happens when you believe that a special relationship you have is being threatened by a third party. So it's you, your partner, and the threat. Or, you, your best friend, and their shiny new best friend.
Right, so it's entirely about the fear of losing an attachment.
Precisely. Whereas envy is about a dyad, it's just you and the other person.
Oh, okay.
Envy is really about a threat to our status or our position in a dominance hierarchy. It occurs when someone else possesses a quality, an achievement, or, like you said, a shiny new car that you believe you lack.
So you're basically measuring yourself against them and feeling diminished.
Exactly. Now, you can certainly feel both at the same time. I mean, you might be jealous of the person flirting with your partner because they threaten your relationship.
Right.
And envious of them because they are, say, incredibly charismatic. But the core mechanisms are distinct.
That makes so much sense. And it's so interesting to look at where these concepts come from historically, too. The sources point out that the word envy derives from the Latin word videre, which means to see.
Yes, and that etymology ties directly into the ancient cross-cultural concept of the evil eye.
Oh wow, the evil eye.
Yeah. Throughout history, across wildly different cultures, there has been this pervasive fear of being seen and envied by others. The superstitious belief was that someone's envious gaze could literally cause you physical harm or bring bad luck.
That's intense.
It really is. Because of this, people instinctively developed behaviors to hide their successes, like wearing amulets to deflect that envious gaze. Envy is deeply rooted in the fear of how we are seen in the social hierarchy.
Jealousy, on the other hand, seems way more primal than just navigating human social status. The sources mentioned this fascinating research showing that jealousy isn't just a human construct at all.
Not at all.
It exists in infants as young as 12 months old, and even in our pets.
Yeah, the animal research demonstrates how deeply hardwired this is. Studies show that dogs exhibit significantly more jealousy than horses.
Wow.
And horses, in turn, exhibit more jealousy than cats.
Which totally tracks if you've ever owned a dog and tried to pet a different dog right in front of them.
Oh, they will not stand for it.
No, they will literally force their way between you. And it makes sense evolutionarily, right? Dogs are pack animals. Their survival in the wild depends on their attachment to the group and to the alpha.
Exactly. Whereas cats are solitary hunters. So jealousy is literally hardwired into animals that rely on social bonds to stay alive.
Wow. It is a fundamental survival mechanism designed to protect primary attachments. If an infant doesn't aggressively guard the attention of its primary caregiver, it literally risks abandonment and death.
Okay, but let me push back on that for a second.
Sure.
If jealousy is perfectly natural and hardwired into our biology to protect us, why does it feel so incredibly toxic? Like, why does it feel so gross and physically painful to experience?
That is a great question. And the Body-Mind Integration Glossary provides the crucial context for that physical pain. We tend to think of emotions as just abstract thoughts floating around in our heads.
Right, like just a mood.
Exactly. But emotions are profound physical events. The glossary actually refers to emotion as a plasmatic motion.
Okay, hold on. Plasmatic motion sounds like something out of a 1950s sci-fi movie. What does that actually mean for, the listener on a random Tuesday when they see their partner smiling at a text message?
Fair point. It refers to the literal movement of biological energy and blood flow in your nervous system.
When you experience a pleasurable stimulus, your biological energy expands outward from your core to your periphery. Your peripheral nervous system activates, you feel open, your posture lifts, you're expressive.
Like when you're really happy and relaxed.
Exactly. But when you encounter an unpleasurable or threatening stimulus, like a perceived threat to a primary relationship, you experience the exact opposite. A remotion.
A remotion.
Yeah. Your nervous system violently contracts. Blood is actually pulled from the periphery back to the center to protect your vital organs.
So that hot, sudden sting in the chest?
Yes.
That's a literal biological contraction happening in real time.
Yes. Your autonomic nervous system is reacting to a life or death threat. And over time, if we experience repeated threats or childhood traumas, our bodies develop what the glossary calls defensive structures or holding patterns.
Meaning we literally build muscular armor.
Precisely.
Right.
Chronic tension in our jaws, our shoulders, our chests. We do it to hold back the overwhelming energy of these feelings. The glossary notes that jealousy often triggers very early primal Oedipal struggles.
Wait. We aren't talking about Freud wanting to marry our parents,
Yeah.
right? Let's translate that into modern terms.
You're right. No, not Freud. We're talking about the intense infantile feelings we had as very young kids when we realized we couldn't possess our caregivers entirely.
Oh, I see.
It awakens that deep lower brain survival instinct that screams, "You are mine, and I will do anything to keep you."
Wow.
It feels toxic because it is a massive surge of primitive survival-level terror crashing into the sophisticated, civilized armor your adult ego has built up. It basically creates a massive biological traffic jam.
Biological traffic jam. That is such a vivid way to put it. And Nick Wignall's article frames this psychological side clearly, too. He argues that jealousy is simply a natural reaction to real or threatened loss.
Yes, it's an internal warning system.
Right. And the researchers Ramachandran and Jalal, they take it a step further. They say jealousy is a perfect mirror for our values.
I love this concept. They argue that if you want to know what you truly value in life, don't ask yourself directly. Just look at who or what makes you jealous.
So like, if you get jealous of your friend's creative success, you clearly value creativity.
Exactly.
Or if you get jealous of a sibling's close family, you value connection. The jealousy is just highlighting a gap between what you have and what you deeply care about.
Viewed objectively, jealousy is incredibly useful data.
It is, but what happens when that mirror shatters? Like what happens when jealousy stops being useful data and starts distorting reality entirely? Because the sources dive into the extreme pathological end of the spectrum too.
They do, and this brings us to Othello syndrome.
Right.
That's the clinical term for pathological delusional jealousy. It's named after Shakespeare's character who murders his wife over a misplaced handkerchief.
I have to be honest here, I have absolutely scrolled through an ex's social media.
Haven't we all?
Right. And I've probably looked over a partner's shoulder when their phone buzzed. Does that mean I'm exhibiting Othello syndrome? Where's the biological line we actually cross?
The dividing line is the relationship with reality and evidence. Normal jealousy is triggered by a real threat, or at least a highly plausible misunderstanding.
Okay.
Othello syndrome requires absolutely no concrete data. A person with this condition processes totally benign things as absolute, conclusive proof of infidelity.
Give an example.
Well, a partner being 3 minutes late from work, a single short hair on a piece of clothing, or just a simple, like, on a social media photo isn't a cause for a conversation. In their mind, it is a conviction.
Wow. One of the details in the sources that really stood out to me is how people try to rationalize this delusion to their partners. They'll say things like, I trust you, but I don't trust the environment. There are just so many bad people out there.
Oh, the psychiatric literature is very clear on that phrase. Saying, I trust you, but I don't trust the environment, actually just means I don't trust you.
Ouch.
Yeah, it is a psychological deflection used to avoid taking responsibility for a pathological lack of trust.
And this isn't just a quirky personality trait or a bad habit. The sources link Othello syndrome to very severe clinical issues like Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, severe alcoholism, and right frontal lobe brain damage.
Yes.
Let's unpack that mechanism a bit. How does brain damage or a neurological condition cause someone to obsess over, like a misplaced receipt?
It comes down to how the brain processes reality. The amygdala acts as the brain's alarm system, generating the emotional fear of loss.
Okay.
In a healthy brain, the prefrontal cortex, specifically the right frontal lobe, acts as the executive reality testing network. It looks at the misplaced receipt, evaluates the evidence, and tells the amygdala to stand down because there's no real threat.
Like putting the brakes on.
Exactly. When that right frontal lobe is damaged or compromised by chronic alcoholism or neurodegenerative diseases, the brakes fail. The amygdala sounds the alarm, and there is no logical executive function to override it. The paranoid narrative just takes over completely.
That is terrifying. And Robert Lee talks about the behavioral side of this phenomenon, referring to it as relationship OCD.
Yes, which is a really helpful way to understand it. In obsessive-compulsive disorder, a person has an intrusive, anxious thought, and they perform a compulsion to temporarily relieve that anxiety.
Right.
In relationship OCD, the obsessive thought is, my partner is cheating, and the compulsions are what Leahy calls safety behaviors.
Like checking their phone while they're in the shower, or interrogating them about their day,
Yes.
or tracking their location, or even building fake social media profiles to test their fidelity.
I think
The jealous person engages in these behaviors believing it will somehow give them certainty and lower their heart rate.
But these mate-guarding safety behaviors are meant to reduce anxiety and save the relationship, and they do the exact opposite.
Yeah, nobody wants to live under constant surveillance.
Exactly. It inevitably alienates the partner, creates constant conflict, and destroys the very relationship they are desperately trying to protect. As the sources note, it can sadly even escalate into domestic violence. Jealousy remains a leading cause of domestic homicide.
It's so tragic. The desperate attempt to prevent loss practically guarantees the loss.
Yes.
So what does this all mean for us? How do we actually apply this to our lives? You know, the old cliche in self-help is that jealousy is a check engine light on your car's dashboard.
Right.
But based on everything we've just discussed about the nervous system and the brain, that feels way too mechanical. To me, it sounds much more like an overactive autoimmune response.
That is a much more accurate clinical framework. I love that.
Yeah, because your body's defense system is designed to protect you from lethal threats. But in an autoimmune flare-up, the system gets totally confused. It misidentifies a harmless protein, or in this case a harmless text message, as a lethal pathogen.
Exactly.
And it starts attacking the healthy tissue of the relationship.
If you view jealousy as an autoimmune flare-up, the goal of cognitive behavioral therapy isn't to surgically remove your immune system entirely.
Right, you still need it.
Exactly. The goal is to regulate the response. The key distinction we have to make, and this is central to the CBT strategies from both Nick Wignall and Robert Leahy, is the difference between feeling jealous and acting jealous.
Okay, let's break that down.
You cannot control the autoimmune flare-up. The feeling itself is an automatic biological response, but you have absolute control over the treatment and the action.
The sources outline 4 key CBT strategies for rewiring our response. Let's try putting this into a real-world scenario so you can see how it works.
Yeah.
Let's say you are at a party, and you look across the room and see your partner laughing effortlessly with someone who is incredibly attractive.
Oh, classic trigger.
Right. Your nervous system immediately violently contracts. What is the very first thing you do in that exact moment?
The first step is you validate it. As we discussed with body-mind integration, when you judge yourself for feeling jealous, you're just adding secondary emotions like shame, guilt, or anger on top of the original feeling.
Just throwing gasoline on the fire.
Exactly. Validating it means saying to yourself, my body is experiencing an intense spike of jealousy right now, and that is a natural human biological reaction. You use that validation as a pressure release valve.
So you accept the physical sensation without endorsing the paranoid narrative your brain is spinning.
Precisely.
Okay, but what if the jealousy is so loud I can't even hear myself think? Like it demands total attention.
That brings us to step 2. You have to actively listen for the whisper underneath the screaming.
The whisper.
Yeah. Jealousy usually masks quieter, more vulnerable emotions beneath the surface. While the jealousy is screaming, they are flirting. The quiet emotion might be whispering, I feel invisible at parties, or I feel deeply insecure about my own social skills.
Oh, wow.
Once you identify that quiet emotion, you have a totally different, healthier path forward. Instead of starting a bitter fight with your partner on the car ride home, you can address your own need for social connection or reassurance.
Okay, but let's say the internal monologue is already writing a massive script. On the drive home, my brain is producing this Oscar-winning tragedy about how they're going to run away together. How do I stop that mental movie?
Step 3, you write down the story, literally putting pen to paper.
Just write it all out.
Yes. Rumination is the food that makes jealousy grow. When you keep it all inside your head, you remain trapped in the emotional limbic system of your brain. Writing forces your brain to slow down and engages the prefrontal cortex.
Ah, the logical reality testing part of your brain we talked about earlier.
Exactly. When you look at your jealousy written out on a piece of paper, the irrational conclusions, the exaggerations, and the sheer lack of real evidence become glaringly obvious. It pulls you right out of the spiral.
You realize your quote-unquote conclusive proof is just your partner laughing at a joke.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take it to the hardest part, the safety behaviors.
Oh, yes.
The drive home is over, your partner goes take a shower and leaves their phone face down on the kitchen counter. The urge to flip that phone over and check the messages is just burning.
Yep.
What happens then?
This requires step 4, which is exposure with response prevention.
ERP.
Yes. It strikes right at the heart of relationship OCD. Exposure with response prevention means you intentionally expose yourself to the anxiety of uncertainty, and you prevent yourself from doing the compulsive response.
So you look at the phone on the counter, and you just sit there. You don't touch it.
You don't touch it.
That sounds physically agonizing.
Oh, it is. Initially, this is going to cause a massive spike in your anxiety. Your amygdala will scream that you are in danger, that you absolutely need to check the phone to be safe. It feels like ignoring a blaring fire alarm.
Right.
But if you just sit on your hands and tolerate the uncertainty, the anxiety will eventually peak and begin to fade. You are actively teaching your nervous system that you can survive uncertainty.
Because there is no absolute certainty in life anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
And chasing it through surveillance only destroys trust.
Leahy actually has a great visual for building out that resilience. He suggests looking at your life as a pie.
I love this analogy.
When we are consumed by jealousy, we get tunnel vision. We act as if our entire existence, like 100% of our life pie, is based on this one single relationship.
Yes, and if this relationship fails, we feel existentially destroyed.
Exactly. So Leahy advises consciously building out the other slices of your pie. Your friendships, your hobbies, your career, your personal interests.
Right, because if your relationship is only one slice of a rich, full, diverse life, a threat to that relationship, whether real or imagined, is certainly painful, but it isn't completely devastating.
You don't have to grip the relationship so tightly that you crush it. A diverse life is an emotionally resilient life.
Beautifully said.
Well, whether we are talking about a dog aggressively guarding a chew toy or a human neurotically guarding a romantic relationship, jealousy is just a primal, unavoidable part of life.
It really is.
It is hardwired into our biology as an autoimmune response to the threat of loss. We can't stop the feeling from bubbling up and contracting our muscles, but we have all the tools we need to stop the destructive behaviors that follow it.
Yep.
We can accept the flare-up, validate the feeling, find the quiet emotions underneath, write down the narrative to engage our logic, and just sit with the physical discomfort of uncertainty.
You know, before we close out this deep dive, there is one final lingering thought from our sources regarding that ancient concept of the evil eye that I think really deserves some exploration on your own.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
For millennia, human beings have instinctively hidden their successes, dimmed their own light, and suppressed their achievements simply because they were terrified of being seen and envied by others.
Right.
The fear of making someone else jealous has shaped human behavior since the literal dawn of civilization.
So, knowing how powerful envy and jealousy are, you have to ask yourself, how much of your own potential are you currently suppressing? How many dreams, talents, or successes are you hiding right now simply because you are terrified of making the people around you jealous?
It's a huge question.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's something to seriously think about the next time you feel that sudden, uncomfortable, hot sting in your chest.